welcome back to Mississippi Family Homestead. We are live and we are next to what's supposed to be our campfire, and I actually came out here earlier to try to set this and it's not really going that good.
It's not cooperating.
Yeah.
So we have lighter fluid, we put that on there. I'm not sure what the problem is. We put some pine shavings on there and it'll flare up and then it'll just die down again. So tonight we're trying to stay warm by the campfire, but maybe a little hard. It is really cold here. What temperature did you say it was?
It was 28 degrees before we came out here. I thought, well, we'll be around a warm fire. It is actually burning, but it's not
like high,
flaming up
like it should be. Yeah.
But
So not sure what's going on there. It is just not cooperating.
Making sure the mics are right here. So
yeah. So we'd love to hear on the chat how y'all's New Year's been going. Ours has been going really, really good. We've accomplished a few things. I mean, I did clean out the chicken roosting areas as a midwinter clean out, and then I probably won't clean them again until springtime, but that was just the roosting where they roost at night. But I felt like it needed to be cleaned, and you know, and I put a lot of bedding in there and worked on that last weekend. We did some other stuff, and we've got some videos that's going to be coming out about that. We rearranged the Silkies. We had to move the roosters over, and we actually made a bachelor pad. We've got all roosters in our bachelor pad, so I'm kind of excited about that. I've been watching them, and they're doing okay. Actually, the Silkies, the little bitty Silkies, are picking on the big.
Yeah, we thought the big one was going to be a problem.
Yeah, the big Americana rooster, his name is Flatfoot. We thought he was going to pick on them, but it's the opposite. The Silkies, and maybe it's just because there's so many of them. There's 4 of them. They've been picking on him, and so we've been kind of keeping an eye on that. But he's doing okay. I think they'll calm down eventually, and it'll be okay. So that's what we worked on last weekend, and you know, we have Crazy Ed that's got the wry neck. We think he still does, but I tried isolating him. Didn't really seem to help him, but I feel like since we got all of the roosters mostly out of that flock of Silkies, that'll help him not, you know, be so agitated with the other roosters. And
yeah.
We did move the Polish babies in there. I have 3 of them, and one of those is a rooster. So when he gets older, I'll probably have to move him in in the bachelor pad with the other roosters, but that'll be okay. And then I have 2 Polish hens, and they're getting used to their new environment, but they're just, I don't know, they won't go in the coop at night and go to bed. I've been having to go out there and like put them to bed every night. And just now, before we went live, Ed was out trying to tell me that the baby, the Polish hens were out of the nest and they were not where they're supposed to be, and he was trying to round them up. Bless his heart.
So that's what they actually do.
Yeah,
so the rooster actually takes care of them.
Yeah,
like
he does. So he was out of the coop, and the light came on. We were like, "What are you doing?"
He knew something was missing.
Yeah, he was making noises and running around, and I was like, "What are you doing?" So I went over there, which I had not locked them up yet. I lock them up when it's cold, like this. 29 is just a little too cold for them not to have their little their door closed at night, because their coop is kind of a little bit smaller than the other chickens are. Their coop is where they roost at night, and he was just running around like nobody's business, trying to tell me that those Silkie, I mean not the Silkie hens, the Polish hens needed to be in the bed where they were supposed to be. So anyway, I had to go over there, catch them, and put them to bed and close their door. I had to catch Crazy Ed and put him up. So we're trying to flame up the fire here, get it going, but
yeah, we need some heat.
Yes, it's a little cold.
Oh, wow.
So other things we've got done this week, you ordered the seeds.
Yeah, the seeds, some of the seeds are in. The Baker's Creek seeds are in. The ones we ordered for Burpee are they're on the way. So I'm getting excited about having a garden again because if you followed us last time, we didn't have a garden last year. We're going to have one this year with some raised beds. And I want to build those this weekend, but I don't know if the weather's going to cooperate.
Yeah, it's going to be cold, and I think it's going to rain again.
Yeah, the cold doesn't bother me. It's the
rain.
If it's rain, it's going to be hard to work in the dirt.
So we have to do that. We're going to do those raised garden beds, and then we'll have to move the fence, the outside fence, to the new chicken coop at some point in the next month or so. And,
so we do have a lot to do, and one of the things we were going to talk about, and some things happened today that kind of made me think about this topic, was if we were to start over, what would we do? And here's how we got to, we had a little scare this today, but everything's okay. Our daughter-in-law is expecting, and it's going to be our first grandchild.
So we're excited.
Yeah, we're very excited. So
so we can't wait to have the grandchild and actually get it. I know it's going to be a couple years, but have it running around on the homestead and helping with the chickens and helping with the garden and just doing typical childish stuff, little things that make life exciting when you have children running around.
And I was thinking, they're getting to start out where if we could go back, how I think we would start out, and that's, raise them. I mean, of course, things were different even
when our kids were little.
We had, with the world and everything, but we, they're going to raise I hope, raise him or her out here.
Yeah.
And, they live right next to us. And, that's, I was thinking, what would we do if we had to start all over if we were just having our first child?
Yeah, I guess I would be out here. I would want, I would have maybe asked my grandparents, can we build a house somewhere on the 46 acres, and can we help you with a garden? Can we help you do that? My mother died when I was young, when I was 15, so my grandparents kind of halfway raised me, so I was really close to my grandparents, and that's one thing that I think I would have done. We lived close, when we first got married, but we just didn't appreciate, the homestead stuff, the garden and that kind of stuff as much as we should have, and I think we would have.
No, we did. I remember, even when I moved up here, your grandfather taught me some stuff about gardening, and I really even liked it then, but
we didn't appreciate it.
We were more focused on
a career.
Career and success and money and stuff, and we should have took lessons on how to start a fire.
I
can't believe it's not really.
I don't know what its problem is.
But it's. I think I would have really done things a lot different if we had to start over again. This is crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah, I think you're about out of that.
I am out of that.
Yeah, so now it's just smoking. So maybe we should have got lessons on how to make our fire work correctly.
We should have thought about, when we because we said we would be out at the campfire, we didn't realize it was going to be 20 degrees outside.
And that the fire wouldn't start. What is its problem? And the logs are dry. I mean, they're green. They're not green. They're good logs, and they're dry. So I'm not sure what's going on with it and why exactly it won't start.
Anyway, talking about that, I'm really excited to see, hopefully they can live the life that we didn't. Not that we had a bad life.
Right.
But, hopefully they can, do things that we would have done. Of course, we are going to have to learn to butt out of certain things,
Yeah, we can't raise the child, but I mean we can keep it and send it back when it gets upset and stuff. That's one good thing.
So grandparenting is going to be a new thing for us.
Yeah.
And but I would, they are they are starting off, and I say we would do things different, but our kids really turned out, both of them turned out really good. Um, they got through college, and both of them are, no debt.
Yeah.
So we were blessed enough to get them through there without them having any college debt.
Yeah. So they're both blessed with that aspect. I just
Yeah.
wish we maybe would have raised them, out in the country more than what we did. We lived in town, a good bit when they were really small,
Yeah.
And when we first got married, we did live out here, but I think it was when Kyle was maybe 10, Kelly was 3. We moved to town and we lived in town for a good while.
Yeah.
And we should have appreciated what we had up here a little bit.
Yeah, we really
more.
didn't appreciate it, and I think in most cases people don't appreciate things, and I don't think we appreciated being out here, and like I've talked about this before. We're big into homesteading, and that's a big thing now. But like, your grandparents are the ultimate teachers of that, because they did all this stuff naturally. They did the garden.
They just knew.
Full-time job, and did the garden.
Now my grandma didn't. She didn't work full time. She did the garden and stayed at home and stuff. But my papa, he had to do the brute work.
They were married for how long? 60 years.
Yeah,
probably.
around 60 years or so.
I mean,
so
he did teach me some stuff about gardening, and I remember one year I did have a garden, and he showed me some stuff.
I think something got in it that year.
Yeah, I got kind of mad about that.
Yeah,
I was ready to pick everything, and something got in it.
Yeah,
which is part of gardening.
Yeah, it is. So we'd love to hear in the chat, like if y'all are have a garden or planning on having a garden this spring. Where do you have it? Do you have the raised garden beds, or how do you have your garden working?
And we were had somebody we were chatting with Sunday from Austria that said a dream of theirs was to have a homestead, and I thought that was really neat. And so it's not too late. So
we're gonna move a little closer here.
Yeah, I'm gonna move closer. Try to, it's not too late to get started. So, let us know in the chat where you are.
Yeah.
And where you are in your journey.
We'd love to hear. So, yeah. So what do we got? I guess what you said, we got to do the raised garden beds, move the fence for the chickens in the next couple of months.
The first thing is the raised garden beds.
Yeah.
And let's see, in probably the end of February, we're going to be ready to plant our seeds. That's when we'll plant the seeds inside and let them grow under grow lights for the tomatoes and cucumbers and a few other things, peppers, and then we'll move those. We'll let them grow in the greenhouse until the last expected frost date.
Yeah.
So we've got that coming up, but but talking about what we would do, I think I would try to bring them up on garden food as much as possible.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I think
see how much.
Yeah.
And which is kind of something we want to get to
ourselves.
But I would like to see how much.
How healthy a person
right.
would be, to eat, more garden food, a child, as you raise them, instead of all this processed stuff and eating out and all that kind of stuff, which, I mean, it's fun to eat out, but I'm just saying, if you eat mostly vegetables and, homegrown stuff, I just think it's healthier for you.
And that's how our grandparents lived into their 90s, because they ate, good food. And I would love to raise a child on that. And not only that, I think I would also, I wouldn't totally isolate. I don't think, even though I'd love to, but I don't think it'd be good to isolate the child from technology totally.
No. We're too far gone in technology.
I would put severe limits today on our children in technology and these games, and let them enjoy the outdoors. like we did. You know, we ran around.
Yeah, we made up our own game. I mean, I did when I was little. I made my own
we
games.
all did at that age.
Yeah.
You know, and I
It was
think that's
it was play chase and get even. You know, when I was little in the summertime, we would get outside and instead of being in there, you know, which we only had 3 channels anyway. And I know me and you talk about that you had cable.
but our cable was only 12 channels.
Well, I had 3 channels, and 2 of them were very blurry.
Literally was only 12 channels.
So in the summertime, we would get outside and chase lightning bugs. You know, we entertained ourselves.
We put them in a jar and make a flashlight.
Yeah, that's what we did. We would put them in a jar and make a flashlight. I don't know if kids know how to do that or what a lightning bug is. I mean,
do you see
nowadays,
that many now?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess you see them in
the
summer.
Yeah, you see them in the summer. There's plenty of them in the summertime. They're still here, but you know, children don't know what that's like. They'd look at you and think, what are you talking about? What is a lightning bug, and why would you put it in a jar to make a flashlight? You know, but that's the stuff that we did growing up to entertain ourselves, you know.
But look at how much fun and memories we have. You know, like you look at these people now, are they going to have these memories of video games?
Right.
I mean, are they going to, you know, and nothing against that. I mean, you know, people that play them, but, you know, we played some games, but
we also,
those aren't the big memories that I have, except maybe Pac-Man and Frogger, but, you know, but the memories are like, you know, jumping a ramp, breaking your arm on a ramp on a bicycle and stuff. Those are the good memories, you know.
Well, no, I didn't do that, but I did have a bicycle, and I don't think we ramped it.
Oh,
you was a guy. You ramped it.
I'd like to do that now. Get a piece of plywood and some blocks.
Yeah, ramp the bike.
Yeah, I'll have to show you.
Yeah. You could ramp the tractor.
The tractor's too expensive. But you never really ramped a bike?
No, I didn't. I just drove the bike up and down the pathway going from my grandparents to our house.
Oh, no, we would,
It is freezing out here.
We made some serious ramps.
Well, I don't know anything about any ramps.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the fire. This is kind of embarrassing that we don't know how to do a fire.
I mean, we got out here, what night was that? It was before it rained.
It was the perfect fire then.
Yeah. It did really, really well then. So.
Yeah, about a lighter fluid.
All the sticks, the really, really dry sticks.
I wonder if I put the wood out. You know, I bet I put it out and it's got the dew on it.
Maybe so. Maybe you put it outside and it got dew on it and it's just got damp and wet, kind of, and that's why it won't catch. So,
I mean,
I'm going to see if I can see just like a stick, like a little stick. See if that'll help.
But yeah, we, you know, I think there's something missing in our society where we don't, you know, where the kids grow up in front of electronics and all that stuff, and it's just, you know, I hope our grandchild can grow up in a different type of thing where enjoy the land, enjoy nature, go walking in the woods. You know, even if you're in the city walking in the woods, you know, like in a park or something. Most cities have parks with all that in it. I think that would be fun. That'd be one thing I would do different. And I think another thing is I would never borrow money for anything.
You know, that is an awesome thought. I don't want to ever borrow money again. Yeah. So
we drive old cars. Well, I feel like one of them's fairly new. It's a 2014.
Yeah, but it's paid for.
Everybody's like, "Oh, that's old."
Yeah,
but,
it's paid for.
You know, it is. It's paid for, and you know, then the other one is a 2006, and I don't want to ever have another car note.
Yeah, I think I would rather just save the money, buy one. You know, if I had it to do again, that's what I would do.
I wouldn't even borrow for a house if you would have to borrow for land to
get
started.
going.
I
Yeah.
can understand that,
And we say it
we
all
would
the time.
because we weren't born with money.
Right.
We
And
don't
we
have
say it
money
all the
now,
time. We're
so-
really blessed to have the land. Most people don't have that. And we feel really, really blessed to have that.
Oh, no wonder that we were streaming on the vertical, and no wonder it doesn't have any hits because it's private.
Oh, well, that's...
Well, we're on the regular stream, but I was
Okay.
trying something out here.
You was trying the vertical?
Yeah. And y'all bear with me. Everything is frozen out here.
Yeah, it feels frozen. My fingers are cold. I should have grabbed some gloves or something.
Okay, there we go. But anyway, talking about what we would do if we had to start over. And, I don't know. I'm trying to think what else that...
Well, I think that we wouldn't have invested our money and our time in that really, really expensive house that we had.
No, we wouldn't.
That's another thing that, the kids were kind of older then, but, I guess we finally learned our lesson.
But I think, though, I'm glad we did in a way, because I think we would not have appreciated it as much. We wouldn't appreciate where we are, because now we just live in a mobile home. Can't afford to get a fire going. but
Maybe
no,
we just need to get a fire pit.
no,
That might help.
I'm just kidding. We both have full-time jobs. I wanted to get a fire pit, but you said no.
Well, they were not what I wanted. I want a really, really nice one if we get a fire pit. So, that's another thing. We don't really need to spend money on a fire pit. Maybe we could build a fire pit, instead of buying
but
one.
we building a fire pit turns into me building the fire pit.
Well, maybe that can be something we do, because
We?
Yeah, we. I'll help.
Well, it ain't usually a we out here. It's a me. We come up with these ideas, and then me ends up doing the ideas.
Well, okay. But, yeah, maybe we just need to build our own fire pit. They're expensive. They're like...
They are expensive. And
a really good one is $400 or more. I've seen them $1,000. I really don't want to spend that on a fire pit.
No, we're not spending that. We can just put it on the ground, put some blocks around it.
Yeah. So
There's
we
no
might
use.
could improve it a little bit. Put some blocks and maybe some...
We need to invest in trying to get some good wood to...
Maybe so. I don't know what's wrong with your wood.
I really think I put it out too early today, and because it's due all over. I mean, it's like this frost already started, and I think that's probably what got it.
Yeah, maybe so.
I was planning on
A nice fire.
a nice fire.
I would like a fire. I was wanting to roast a marshmallow or something.
And just think, your grandchild can be out here soon.
I know, roasted marshmallows.
20 degrees.
Yeah, doing hot dogs.
Yeah. They may not allow that, but let's see if we can light this. Y'all, this is really embarrassing.
Well, like we said before.
And this is real, okay?
Yeah.
This is real.
This is real.
That's why I like the live. It's real. It's not...
it's not made up. Or, if we were doing a video and editing it, we might be...
You could edit this part out.
Yeah, and finally get the fire going maybe.
Yeah.
But this is real. It's not, not fake.
Yeah, real homestead. You just try to light a fire in the backyard and it just don't work. But... yeah, I am looking forward to. It's like a new chapter.
Yeah, a new chapter in life.
Our book,
yeah.
And and it's a new chapter. This year is going to be a new chapter in a lot of different ways, because we're going to make a few things happen. We've been putting off the. We're trying to move more towards.
Raised garden beds.
And honestly, more towards this channel.
Yeah.
And less try to kind of get out of the corporate world.
Yeah.
I say corporate world. I'm not at a big corporate place, but we're kind of phasing out that, and I want to enjoy life a little better and
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
being tied down,
Yeah.
as much.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll always work, and
It is, sometimes when I'm working, I work a full-time job at home and I stare at the computer all day, it's kind of hard for me sometimes. I'll look outside or something and think, I could be out there doing so and so, or even in the house doing so and so, but I'm not.
Yeah.
It's really kind of hard, really hard in the summertime, because there's so many things that need done, especially in the summertime, and it's hard to sit there and know that I can't just get up and go do what needs to be done outside. But as I've said before, I do get off at 4, and in the summertime it gives me a pretty good amount of time to get outside and do some stuff in the afternoon.
And talking about if we would start now, I would have had a whole different career path.
Yeah.
I mean, but if the career path I'd probably choose now wasn't even there
Yeah.
back then. So what is that, a advertisement?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there are a lot of opportunities now to not have to be as married to your job
As
for
you
younger
are
people
now. Yeah.
as we were kind of brought up. And I think a lot of times, our generation, we're in our 50s, and we were brought up
To work. Yeah. Yeah.
to work, and everybody I think needs to work, but like I used to get aggravated at the younger people, the younger generation, that they don't put work first.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm starting to think they're right.
Yeah. Maybe they should.
I mean, really, that I do think if somebody's paying you to do something, you do what they're paying you to do. But we've always been somebody that's really into our jobs, and I think it's okay to pull back as long as you're doing what what they're paying you to do. Don't just sit there and do nothing.
Yeah, but
But I'm starting to see what a lot of them. Some of them I think are going to the extreme, but I'm the more people I'm seeing, I think they're enjoying life a lot more than I do.
Yeah. Whereas you're just tied down to work and working a full-time job all the time.
Yeah, and I mean, we've worked tons of hours a week, and then you think, what have you got to show for it?
Yeah. Even now I work. I work some overtime sometimes. So it's get on the computer when it gets light outside, especially in the winter right now. Get on the computer when it gets light, start work, and then not end till it gets dark. Not even able to go outside really, except for, to go walk the dog or something, during lunch. And it's, it's like you're stuck there sometimes. Yeah. So, our goal is to maybe get this homestead going and be able to stop those full-time jobs so we won't have all of that.
Yeah, we want to be more self-sufficient, and I want to be totally honest. I don't believe in this day and time you can be totally self-sufficient.
Yeah.
I just don't think you.
I think it's hard. It's just not possible nowadays.
It's like, back in the 1800s, the only external thing you had to pay was your taxes.
Yeah.
And if you paid them, you were fine. But now, you got insurance, you got health care, you got this, and it is a different world. But I think we can be more self-sufficient than we are now, mainly by growing our own food. We don't have a strong desire to travel like a lot of people retiring.
Yeah.
That might change. I don't know. But
yeah.
I traveled so much with work that I really don't care to travel as much.
Yeah, we've talked about, maybe going on some vacation, but that would be once in
Yeah.
a few years. You know, like when we go on vacation, it's not every year. You
We
know?
don't. Yeah, a lot of people go on vacation. We've got friends that they will not miss a vacation.
Right, and sometimes
They'll
two
miss their
vacations.
bills.
Yeah, two vacations a year, and you know we're just not like
Oh,
that.
they're
I
like a
mean,
vacation a month. I
you
mean,
know,
some of them.
we went. You know, my daughter-in-law and my daughter, we all went to Universal last year. You
But
know,
y'all saved up a lot.
we
for
did.
That, didn't
We
you?
saved for a year to go and do that. And if that's your thing and you want to do it, it's fine. But sometimes, you know, I think vacations kind of consume you. You know,
Mhm.
you're just and sometimes vacations are not enjoyable. You know, so. You know, if I'm planning a vacation, I want to plan something that I know that I'm going to enjoy and look forward to, and not, you know.
So, what would be your perfect vacation?
Well, I really want to go on one of those, you know, I've told you before, one of those Viking, the smoke's terrible, Viking cruises overseas and go on, you know, like a river, and, you know, it stops at ports, and
Yeah.
you go to those old castles and the old churches and stuff. That's what I would love to do. But, you know, we can do that, but we're going to plan it. You know, we're
Yeah,
not
we're
going to
gonna
just,
plan it way ahead.
yeah.
And, you know, mine would like be go to Alaska in a snowstorm. Or
Yeah, and
something.
I don't want to go to Alaska in a snowstorm. It's cold enough tonight for me.
I would. I think my ideal vacation would be go to a cabin somewhere, just in the middle of nowhere, which we live in the middle of nowhere, but like
Where there's no traffic, no roads.
yeah, no traffic, no road.
You
like,
have a wood stove.
One of those things you see on the windows screens the desktop background. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And where there's just, I think that would be my vacation. I wouldn't want to be around a lot of people. I've gotten to where I'm just kind of I'm around a lot of people and love the people I'm around, but I think I would just, sometimes I'd like to, I just love to enjoy nature at this point. I've
Yeah.
been to the big cities, you know, after a while, to me, they all look the same. So, you know, I mean, I think I would like to see the castles. That's that, and I would like to go on a safari in Kenya.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, have y'all ever seen that? Y'all, it's like awesome. You we've watched we watched this guy that travels and stuff, and you know, and I'm glad he can do that and he enjoys that. But you know, he went to like Kenya, and it was so cool.
I mean,
It was like a
resort
yeah,
in Kenya.
and you know, you had hippos in the water outside of your villa or whatever it was. And we thought that was just the coolest thing. So, you know, maybe in the future we'll go to Kenya.
Maybe. I'm not sure. You know, I honestly, I don't want to go anywhere, and I want to focus as much as we can on building this place and, you know, having it something that
we can pass on.
Yeah, that we can pass on, and they're happy
to the grandkid, you know.
And, you know, instead of a vacation, you know, my dream is to build a cabin back here, and we can just stay in it instead of going anywhere.
Yeah.
That's what I would really like to do. We've got planned. I've actually started clearing off back there back in the woods, a place for an off-grid cabin, and it's not even going. It'll have a trail going to it, big enough for like a four-wheeler or
something. Yeah.
What do you call it, the mule thing?
Yeah, a mule or side by side.
Yeah, side by side. You know, it's just enough to get that back there, or the tractor.
Yeah.
And it's right in the middle of the woods. You know, we're going to try to leave the trees around it so it feels like it's been there.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, that's where I would like to spend a vacation, is right there. We got the fire going now.
Yeah, we finally got it going. It is. It's on fire now.
Yeah.
It just took a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did good.
Yeah, but I would
think
rather...
my little sticks helped.
Yeah, okay, that's what made it,
Yeah,
it
did. When I went and got the two little sticks and put them on there.
I think it's this little piece I put in.
Oh, so it's your piece, not mine?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah.
But that's what I would... I mean, would you stay in an off-grid cabin?
I would. I just...
With an outhouse?
Yeah, I guess.
You would stay in... with the outhouse?
I would with the outhouse.
I don't
But
think
I
you would
don't
with the
want.
outhouse.
I wouldn't stay for long.
Like 5 minutes?
Yeah, yeah, not long at
And
all.
it might not be an outhouse. We could put some rainwater, something in for a bathroom
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
And,
You know, a lot of people that are off grid do use their rainwater. They have barrels and stuff
yeah,
to catch the rainwater and use it. You know, even for drinking, you just have to have a filter system.
yeah,
You know, and that's one thing I want to get for the chickens is a rainwater barrel so we can catch the rain and not
yeah.
have to haul the water for them. You know, that's one of my goals in life.
Yeah. Well, mine is for it off. I mean, we've got a lot of projects we've got to finish here, but that's, you know, everything's going to change for our kids now.
It is. It's going to change.
You know, we're kind of, and you know, I never really thought that I would want to, you know, because we've been so career focused. I never really thought I would want to get rid of that and just be out here in the country. But
yeah.
now, you know, it's like I never want to leave. And,
right.
and honestly, you know, we're in Mississippi. It's some pretty places here. It is beautiful out in these woods. But it's not like you're in North Carolina looking at mountains and stuff.
Right. There are beautiful places here.
There are beautiful places. But like for us, it's our own beautiful place. It is extremely peaceful here.
Yeah.
And
the other night we heard an owl actually.
I heard one earlier.
Did you? Yeah.
Out here tonight, and you know, I hope you know, if that's what you're looking for, that you could find your peaceful place. You may already have it. If not, hope you know, don't give up.
Yeah.
And your version of peaceful place could be a lot different than ours.
Yeah, we'd like to hear in the chat if you have a thought about a peaceful place where you would like to be, or a vacation.
Like a homestead.
Yeah, or a vacation that you would dream of going on. You know, but you know, it's just our dream just to be here mostly. You know, and I'm really looking forward to having that grandchild and raising it on the homestead and teaching it, you know, things that I should have taught my own kids. You know, not that they're bad kids, but you know, just things like
they're
growing
really
the food.
good considering that we brought them up.
Yeah, I guess so.
But you know, we did move around and stuff, but I don't think we would be back here if we stayed here our whole life. I just don't think we would have ever appreciated it.
You know, I guess we wouldn't have appreciated it.
Because we really didn't appreciate it back then, or we wouldn't have left here.
I mean, that's true. And, you know, I grew up, you know, on the farm. You know, it was a farm. You know, we had chickens and we had the garden just kind of like we do now. Yeah, there was some cows, and I enjoyed that, but I don't think I appreciated it. I don't know if any child really appreciates what they've got, you know, till you get grown and you look back and you see, you know, these things and you're like, I just didn't appreciate that. You know, I wish I would have done this or that and appreciate it. So I think if I had things to do different, even as a child, I wish I would have, you know, thought about things more and appreciated what I had, you know.
Because, you know, I told you this before, I would have given anything to live out here.
I know.
I know you joke at me about the cable TV and country club. And for those of you that's listening, the country club was a, you know, cheap country club.
Yeah,
it wasn't the bougie rich country club. Okay?
Right. So
it was, we weren't.
Well, it was better than
rich,
what I had.
But no, it wasn't, because I would have loved to be out here. I mean, when I was growing up, I loved the country. I've always have.
Yeah. And even if, you know, if you have a little something, you know, just be appreciative of what little that you have. The least thing that you can be thankful for. You know, I think that if I had it to do over again, I think I would have maybe, been more thankful for the little things,
And even now, I mean, you look at what we have compared to what people had,
Right.
even just 100 years ago.
Yeah.
150 years ago, no running water. Just think how cold it is now. It's 28 degrees here in Mississippi. And if you had to go to the bathroom, you had to go outside.
I know.
And,
That
I mean, just think if you had to get up in the middle of the night, I mean, 28 degrees and you had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And, now we're in our shorts, barefooted,
Yeah,
going to the
yeah.
bathroom in the middle of the night. I mean, I'm not trying to be
Yeah.
disgusted or whatever, but,
Yeah.
and I mean, right, we're out here in it, and then, they, back then,
They didn't know any different, though.
we hit a button and we have heat.
Yeah.
Then you had to bring in the logs
Yeah.
to have heat.
Yeah.
So, we do have a lot to be thankful for. But I also think, in a way, they had more than we had back then.
Yeah, in a way, they did.
But they had more family time.
They did.
You
They
know,
did. I think back then, I think the family was more core than what it is now. I guess maybe after the World Wars, maybe in the 50s and so, I think families was,
The 50s families were still strong.
Yeah,
I think.
they were.
I think it was on into the 80s that
Yeah.
that they were.
Yeah, and I think maybe in the 1800s, families were really strong and they
Yeah.
were together, and just not, I don't know, it's just so much stuff now. It's just easy to not appreciate it and not appreciate your family, and you don't have to have that, you do whatever nowadays. It seems like it's just convenient to, a lot of people just get a divorce because it's convenient or whatever.
My drink is frozen.
Is your drink frozen? That's funny.
It's unsweet tea, by the way.
Yeah. Well,
Another thing.
I'd rather have some hot chocolate. That's
Well,
what
I
need.
thought about that. That would make sense. But another thing that I would have done, and your aunt mentioned this too, that I would every night have, when we have dinner, have everybody put their electronic devices away and have dinner at the table.
Yeah.
And nobody can leave until everybody's finished.
Right. Now
And-
we do dinner, probably with the whole family.
Yeah.
Probably twice a month, and on a Sunday, we'll do supper, we'll do dinner where we are sitting around the table and just talking and being together, and mostly not on our devices, but we probably are. We need to
I don't know.
say,
Most people aren't really.
Yeah.
But
we do
that.
that.
I think that should be done every single night.
Yeah.
I was watching this in this morning, and on my YouTube feed pops up in one of the feeds is this dad and daughter. The daughter's probably 12 or so, and every morning they do a live YouTube thing, and it's
They throw a ball or
they're
something?
throwing a ball out in the driveway before school, and the little girl, you can tell this is a positive girl, and I can tell why, because her dad's very active.
Yeah.
And I think that family structure is, I think it helps, bring the positiveness.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that closeness and spending more time, I would definitely have spent a lot more time and tried to not, travel as much with work.
Yeah.
I would have
more time with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, when the kids were small, he was gone a lot with work and stuff, so it was me raising them a lot of times, so, I hope that us all being here, and our son and our daughter-in-law, and now the baby, we can all just kind of live here and have that closeness and that family, you know, and sit down at the table and enjoy that grandchild and have some close time together.
Yeah.
And you know, you can't go back and redo anything, but I think it's good to reflect and think about the things that you wish. So maybe as the future goes on, you can think, oh, well, I need to appreciate this, or I need to do, you know, I need to sit down at the supper table with the family and have time with them, and know that, you know, that you're going to appreciate that time, and you know, with your family. That's just something that I would think about.
And I think anybody our age, if you're just joining us, we're in our 50s, and I think anybody our age have made mistakes. I mean, you know, I remember when we were young, we were in our 20s going to church up the road, and I used to look at these older people and think, oh, they had a perfect life. Now, they had the perfect life there in their 80s because there was nothing going on. You know?
Yeah.
And, you know, most of them have lost their husband and stuff earlier, but you know, then you realize they have been through a lot, but you know, and we would learn a lot from them.
Yeah.
And I think
That's another thing that I think I would go back and do. Like I said, you can't change it, but I think I would go back and spend more time talking to my grandparents.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
you know, because we got to be teenagers, and you like, oh, I don't want to be. That's my grandparents.
Yeah, you didn't really want to be around your grandparents.
But now when we first got married, this is, you know, her grandparents were from this area. My grandparents were like from, their family was from New York.
Yeah.
So my I think my grandmother was born down here, but her family was from, my granddad's family was from New York.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know, we would actually go, when we first got married, we would go riding. He would drive us, and we'd go riding on Sunday afternoon.
And he would just show us the roads.
Yeah,
and
he'd
the
say,
things.
oh, this is where so-and-so lived. And I remember some of it, but I wish we'd have wrote all that down. But
yeah.
And I want to give, you know, I'd like to pass that along.
To the grandchild. Yeah. So we are taking the grandchild, and even our, you know, our son and our daughter, which, you know, maybe we should have done that more when they were little too, to appreciate the small things. But I hope that with the grandchild, we can take that grandchild and drive them up down this road and say, hey, this is the cemetery where your great grandmother is buried, you know. And I think maybe sometimes as kids you don't appreciate it then, but I think you'll appreciate it later, like I do. I mean, I appreciate the time that my grandparents spent with me and things that they did. And as a child, you don't appreciate that, but as as you're older, you do appreciate it. So those are some things that we can change, you know, the future for that grandchild, to take them and drive them down the road and just have a Sunday drive with no devices and no looking at,
That's right.
a game on the phone, and looking out the window and appreciating nature and, you know, the trees that pass by, the seasons, you know, that's things that we can change in the future for our grandchild.
And, you know, we talk about stuff that we would change in the past, but I think all of that's happened has allowed us to get to this point where we can have this channel and start building this channel and hopefully help other people get into the homesteading life and get into a more simple life. And, you know, hopefully, I mean, we hope to help people our age, but also some younger people with kids that are tired of the system and, you know, and want to start, you know, a more simpler life. And, you know, we've been through a lot through life, and, you know, hopefully we can help other people. You know, I think, you know, we're always saying, well, we would do this different, but, you know, I think everything happened for a reason, and we can help other people get through tough situations.
We are believers in Christ, and we believe that, you know, whatever has happened, it was for the good, to better us, you know, as people. And you know, we say change things, but like he said, we do know that, you know, whatever happened, it was meant to be, and Jesus.
Or God can take
Yeah.
what was bad and
Make it good.
make it good.
Yeah, and that He was there with us through whatever, you know, and you know, you always are going to reflect back on things that you could have done different, but you know, just know, you know, we believe that God's there with us, and He's gonna
Exactly.
see us through whatever, and He has been with us, you know, through life. That's something that we truly believe.
Yeah, and we're hoping to help other people get through it too. You
Yeah.
know, so you know, hopefully this channel somehow help other people that are, you know, struggling with something, or you know, I think everybody. Well, I don't think. I know everybody at some time is going through something, and you know,
Having a homestead just helps you through those things sometimes, just like just planting something in the garden. If you're going through a bad time, just going out and reflecting and growing something in the garden can help. It's therapy, you know, for whatever you're going through. I think it helps.
and I think it kind of it's helped me being out here. You know, when we were at the other house, I guess life centered around work.
Yeah.
I'm talking about my job.
Yeah, let's pay for
Now.
Let's pay for the house.
Yeah, and now being out here, it's not just a money thing. It's a you know, because you know we have more money now that we have less expenses, but it's more of a connection to the land and stuff like that. I know that sounds weird, but it's more of a you know, the job that I have is not my life anymore.
Right.
You know,
right.
My life is here now.
Yeah.
And you know, and honestly, we talk about, you know, in my job in the tech field, a lot of times when we get home, we don't want to be around anybody because we deal with people all the time.
Yeah, and it's therapy for you to go out in the garden when you get home and be able to work, you know, on the tractor, especially in the summer. Get on that tractor when you get home from work and go out in the garden and do something and pick something or plant something, and that helps you, I think. And
oh yes, it
does.
does.
For me, I think mine is spending time with the chickens. You know, his is the garden and mine is the chickens, and it's why I have 30 chickens. I just, you know, I love them and they're my therapy. You know, so you know, whatever your therapy is, just, you know, try to grow something small. I think, you know, you could do that on a back porch or whatever. It would help you.
And you know, it just takes the focus off of your job.
Yeah.
That, you know, because we're you know, I want to be careful how I'm saying this, but like when we have a job, we're working for somebody, you know, that's great. You know, some people, that's what they need to do. But, you know, you're really investing all of your time for whoever owns that to benefit.
Right, right.
And for some people, that's okay. But, you know, or if you're, you know, and that may be what you want to spend your life doing, and that's fine. But, like, when you go home, for me, it was so hard for me to take my mind off of work. Still is. But I think finally now I'm realizing that the job, the career, is not the most important thing in my life. You
right,
know? And part of it comes with age, but you know, I think there's a lot more important things than career, or money.
Yeah,
and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say we don't care about money at all. But I mean, we have to have money to live.
Yeah.
We're not at the retirement age. We've still got a little gap to fill there before we get to the age of full retirement.
But that's one goal of the homestead, is so we won't have to have as much money, you know, because we can cut back and, you know, grow the food and stuff so we won't have to have money, you know. I mean, everybody needs money. I don't think we'll ever go back to the 1800s where, you know, you didn't need as much money as you do nowadays. You know, it's the inflation and the times that we live in, and and I think nowadays, you know, we're so dependent on, you know, even if you're off grid in a cabin or on a homestead, you know, most people still have solar. You know,
Yeah.
they'll have solar or some kind of electricity. You know, it's just hard for us to live that way anymore. You know.
Yeah, because we're born into a world where we're accustomed to electricity.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, I believe I could get used to it. I could get used to not having a phone. I don't think I would miss the phone at all.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
think
those of you that have been on call know exactly what I'm talking about. I just would not miss having a cell phone. And if you've never been on call, you may not really realize what I'm talking about, but that's another one of my dreams is to get rid of that stupid phone.
yeah.
But you know, it's you know, I feel like this year's the thing, you know, when things are gonna happen, and
Yeah.
you know, and also if you're wanting to start this type of lifestyle, then you know, I want you to be careful how you do it, but you may have to push a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, I think that's another problem we had. We kind of waited for things to happen. You know,
Yeah.
even since in the 5 years we've been here, we've been like, oh, I wish this would happen. And I think you just got to jump out. You know, you wonder why things happen for certain people. I think they really push. You know, the annoying people, they really
Yeah.
push to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, they do. People that make things happen, or people that, you know, even, you know, most really, really rich people, they pushed to get there.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't just sit down and say, oh, well, I need to do this and I need to do that without doing something.
They made it happen.
Yeah, you can't just sit there and say, okay, well, I want to do this and blah, 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 and not do anything about it. You have to actually push and do it sometimes, you know,
Right.
just like, you know, he's going to cut back in June in his job, and we're really going to do that, you know.
We actually made that decision, and you know, I was fortunate enough. I'm really blessed to work with such a good boss, you know, and we're very honest and open about, you know, what we're doing, and you know, I'm in a position where I can cut back.
Yeah.
And it's the type of job I can cut back, and you know, and if you know, that may be a way for you to move into something different, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah, cut back, and you know, if you're wanting to have a homestead, you do have to. I mean, you plan for it, but you know, if you're wanting to have a homestead or just wanting to grow something, do it. You know, don't just talk about it. Just jump in and do little things to get yourself there. You know, and as you push toward a goal, you know, you will get there, but you can't just sit there and not do it. You know?
well, that's like losing weight. You know, I lost weight several years ago, and then I'm working on it now. But it's like you don't do it overnight.
Right, right.
You get out there
And
when
push
you don't
and
want
do
to, and walk 2 miles. You know, and you have to do that with reaching your goals with like a homestead, and you know, and homesteading can mean a lot of different things for different people. You know, some people want to be as self-sufficient as possible. I was trying to move that up.
And you're going to put on our fire.
No, I'm just going to move that right there. I hope.
Well, I hope so too. I hope it don't
Some
land on me.
people want to be as self-sufficient as possible, and then some people might just want a little taste of it, like just a garden in the backyard, and that's fine. You know, don't overdo it. But you know, we want to encourage people to go for it.
Yeah, Yeah.
But be smart about it. Don't just, up and quit, but quit your job. But also realize that this type of lifestyle, it looks glamorous on YouTube.
Yeah, and again,
it's
we
not.
say we want to be real on our channel. We don't
Yeah.
want to make it look, fake, and because it's not.
Right.
What we have is real. Just like we couldn't get the fire going tonight.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
But we would have probably edited that out.
Yes, if we were doing a video and not being live, we would have just edited that out and gotten to this point to where it's really going good.
And realize things are going to happen.
Yeah,
Like, if you get a tractor, the tractor's going to break.
Yeah.
If you get chickens, or if you hatch chickens, you're going to have a bunch of roosters.
Yeah, yeah.
So
you got to do something about that.
Yeah, but it's, it's not, I think a lot of people think it's a glamorous lifestyle, but it's kind of tough at sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You might spend all that time on a garden and not get a lot.
Yeah.
But
because there's things that happen with the garden. You can have too much rain, or it can not rain enough.
It's a lot of things out of our control, but
it is satisfying.
But it is, even when things don't work out, it is satisfying, and it's just, I do believe that it gets people back to where we were intended to be.
Yeah.
I don't really know that God intended us to have the type of, I'm not saying it's sinful to have this stuff, but like, did he really intend us to have all these luxuries?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
did he? Yeah.
We've only had cars for
20 years now?
Yeah, about 120 years, I guess. But
yeah. I mean, they had them in the early 1900s, but most people didn't. It was only the ultimate rich people. I think cars, even when my grandmother was little, she says that she didn't drive in a car till she was 5, and she was born in
20-something, right?
No, she was born in 1919 or 1918, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she was 5 before she rode in a car, and...
So how old was she when she passed?
I don't know. What year was it?
90s or 80s?
I think 90s. She was, if not 80s, she was almost 90. Maybe not quite 90.
And she grew up out here in the country, just about half a mile
up the
from
road
where we are right now. And, it was, I remember that house, because that old house was the one.
Yeah, she lived in that little house.
Old wood house.
It was fell in, yeah.
It fell in. I'm sure it probably was a beautiful house at that time, but still, out here in the country back in 1918 was an pretty rural place.
It really was.
This place was rural until the 1950s.
And it's so strange to think of that now, that it was like that here, in the country, that it was so rural like that
mm-hmm.
she was 5 before she rode in a car and she went to town,
So did they have a horse and buggy?
Yes, they had horses and buggies.
I mean,
then.
Did they own one?
Yeah,
okay.
They did. And my grandpa says, when he was dating my grandmother, he would ride his horse over here to see her, and it was, I don't know, it was a good many miles,
Yeah,
so
probably
riding a horse way over here to date her.
It's probably 10 miles over there, isn't
it? Yeah, probably so. So he would have to, start early and, ride all that way and then, go back home, at night or in the late afternoon.
That's why marriages lasted so long then, because you put a lot of effort
to
go
get them. You had to put a lot of effort in.
You had to really love them to go that far on a horse,
Yeah.
I mean, now it's just you text them. But
right.
Back then, if you had to ride that far on a horse, you're gonna really want to see that person.
That's right, because you didn't have no texting or anything. You might have could write some letters, but then the letters were kind of like they are now. They didn't get there until the few days later. You know,
I think
a
they
week or so
got
later.
there sooner than they do
You
now.
think so? I don't
Yes.
know. Maybe so.
Yeah, I had some stuff stuck in Jackson for 3 months. I think they were. I think it was more efficient because they even delivered in the snow back then.
They sure did. That didn't stop them.
Yeah.
That, you know, that used to be a thing for the post office through rain, snow, sleet, whatever it said.
Yeah.
There's like a quote that
They
post
erased
office.
that.
I think they did. I don't think they do that anymore.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah. So how long would they? How long would it take to ride a horse over there? Your thing's not playing because you keep stopping it. So
Well,
I don't know that the chat's going to show.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's see. Is it like a 2-hour ride on a horse?
Probably, I guess I would think so.
Okay.
At least an hour. You know, to ride a horse 10 miles.
Yeah.
And you know, you couldn't really go through the woods then either. You know, you had to go on the roads of what they were.
And this road that we live on was not really a good road.
No, it wasn't. It was a dirt road till I think I was born.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Because they said back before you were born, when it rained, they had to park the cars
Yeah, they had to park
up the road.
up the road.
It's about a mile on the highway up there. And wouldn't somebody take a tractor and drive up there to get?
I
take
think
people
so,
to the
to
car?
take people back home. There was a good many people that lived on this road back then. You know, even when I was little. Ugh, smoke.
But you know, it was real. I don't know. It was rural back then. So back then, when you were coming up, did you learn a lot about chickens when you were, or were they?
Yeah, I did. I learned lots about chickens. You know, then you didn't put them in an incubator. The mama hen, hatched those chickens and raised them. And my grandpa didn't think twice about getting rid of the roosters.
He would have dinner for a month.
Yeah.
Right now, with your flock, with them not raising any eggs.
He didn't think anything about killing a rooster, and we would have it. Mama would make fried chicken, or usually that's what she would make.
So y'all
with the
ate
chicken.
the chickens that were out there?
Yeah, we did.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that because we were strange, me and my sister. We, back then you didn't put the chicken's head in the little cone things. You tied the chicken's feet together and you would put its head on a stump, and he would literally chop the chicken's head off. And when that happened, the chicken would flop around the yard and it would be headless. It would just flop around until it died. Well, me and my sister, we thought that was funny. What children think that's funny? Yeah.
She's disturbed.
Yeah, we laughed about that. But that was my life. That was what we did. We didn't know. We didn't know that it wasn't what people did.
Were you one of the kids that went through the neighborhood with a BB gun shooting the birds?
No, I didn't have a BB gun when I was little.
I did that one time, and I felt so bad about it.
Yeah.
Because I've always
to shoot
loved
the bird?
animals. Yes.
Yeah.
And I felt awful about that.
Well,
I hate to admit that on here, but
yeah. So we would eat those chickens when I was little, and this was in the 70s and 80s. Out here we still did that kind of stuff. It's hard to. Most people that live in a city or whatever, they didn't, and even back then, I guess if you lived in a big city, you wouldn't have known about that. But that's what it was in most people's lives out in the country. That's how you lived even then in the 70s. So, we did, but we ate the chickens, and.
You know I have never eaten a chicken that, like, I don't think from
a farm or whatever.
Like a local farm. That's
Yeah.
not a huge, that you don't buy in the grocery. I don't believe I have.
Yeah, well, it's our goal to have the meat birds and everything, maybe by the end of the year. So maybe we'll get to do that, to actually have a chicken from the farm. But
So do they taste different?
I don't
Or do you even
remember.
remember?
I don't really remember. You know, we ate other things too, like rabbit, and you know, people raise rabbits for meat now,
Yeah.
and they'll eat rabbits.
I just don't think I could kill a rabbit for food.
Well,
And I know, I mean, there are people around here that go rabbit hunting,
yeah.
but I mean, I don't know. That'd be hard for me.
Well, I think that I could kill a rabbit. I guess because I didn't grow up with like a pet rabbit, as opposed to the chickens. You know, it's hard for me to think about killing the chickens, but it's just not hard for me to think about killing a rabbit. You know, our daughter had a rabbit.
Oh yeah,
A sweet.
it was so sweet.
Yeah, it was. It was sweet, but it was like a domestic rabbit. It wasn't
Yeah.
wasn't one that you think about that you would eat.
It was a sweet little rabbit.
Yeah, it was.
You know, but and I think I have eaten a rabbit before, but I don't.
You don't remember what it tastes like?
No.
Well,
I don't want to eat another one.
Yeah, well.
And I've eaten squirrels, but to me that a squirrel is more like from the rat family.
Well, I think squirrels and rabbits taste good. Like, to me, they're just the same as eating a piece of chicken. So
A squirrel is just, I don't know, a squirrel's too much like a rat with a big tail.
Well, I don't mind the squirrels and I don't mind the rabbits. I would like to actually have some.
No.
Yes.
I don't think I could do the squirrel thing either.
Well, my grandpa did. He ate everything.
But it takes a lot of squirrels to get some meat, don't it?
Yeah, it does. You have to have at least 5 or 6 of them to feed, you know, a few people.
Have you ever eaten quail?
No, I have not eaten quail.
I hadn't either. What about frog?
Well, now I have eaten, you know, you can buy the quails in the store. I think I have eaten that.
Can you really buy them in the store?
Yeah, you can. You can buy the little.
Like quail?
Well.
Can you really?
I think so. Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that. You need a mask?
Well, I don't know. Need something.
The fire's finally going. It's still not hot though.
It's not. It's just because it's so cold out here. It don't seem as hot.
We might just freeze here and leave the stream running.
Yeah, maybe so.
but what was I gonna say?
Oh, I don't know about the rabbits and the squirrels and stuff.
Yeah, the squirrels and rabbits. I just don't. I don't think I can.
Well,
I know what I was gonna say. Have you ever eaten? This is a southern food. I've never eaten it. I don't think frog legs.
Yeah.
Really?
But not like I've eaten them at, you know, a buffet or whatever, not at home. And I like frog legs.
Ooh, do you?
Yes, I really do like frog legs. They're really good.
Can't do a frog leg either.
Well, that's why you grew up in the city and I grew up on the farm.
Now, your grandfather would eat anything.
Oh, yeah, he would.
He would probably eat an armadillo. If he could, but I mean.
He did. He ate lots of things.
Yeah, I guess mine is raw oysters. I do like that.
Yeah, well, I don't like raw oysters.
Yeah, but no, I couldn't. How about rattlesnake? Have you ever eaten that?
No, I've never eaten that. I don't think I want to try that either.
Alligator?
No alligator.
They say that's got to be cooked just right.
Yeah, well, I've never had that.
And it's hard. I think it's hard to cook it just right, but it's got to be cooked just right or it's not good from what I hear. But I think I'll stick to like fish.
So going back and doing something again, I think I would have wanted to learn, like I didn't learn to hunt and stuff because I don't know why my grandfather never really took me hunting and stuff. But when I was little, I would have liked to do that more and learn to, you know, kill the squirrels or your rabbit or whatever and eat them. And even, you know, deer hunting, I think my dad only took me one time, you know, when I was little, when I was younger.
Oh, now we went hunting.
Yeah.
That's one thing we did. We went, and what was weird is my, you know, my stepdad that really my dad, he took me hunting and we actually, this is before I knew anybody up in this area. We actually hunted in this area, like a mile north of here.
Okay, yeah, and we didn't know.
And I was like, gosh, I was 10 years old. And let me tell you, that was so fun.
Yeah.
And hunting back then was a little different. What we did was they hunted deer with dogs, and I don't know if they do that. They don't do it as much now down here. I'm not sure if they do it anywhere, but what you would do, they would, on these dirt roads, you'd see a deer track. Well, then you would turn the dogs loose, and the dogs would chase the deer till it crossed another road, and then you would get the deer then.
Okay.
And, we would do that, and I thought that was so fun. But, yeah, I learned to hunt then.
But you hunted deer, not squirrels and rabbits.
I remember going rabbit hunting.
Okay, with your daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went rabbit hunting one time, and I'm pretty sure we went squirrel hunting. I mean, we did every kind of hunting there was.
Yeah, well, see, I didn't.
We didn't go fox hunting.
Yeah, I just didn't. I don't know. My grandpa never really took me hunting.
I'm surprised.
I am too. Now I know he took my mother when she was young. He would take her hunting, squirrel hunting, but he never took me when I was little. Now, I had a dad, but I didn't live with my dad. My parents were divorced, so my growing up was here. Mostly on the farm, and that's just one thing he never really did. He didn't take me hunting.
Now, I took you hunting.
Yeah, you took me hunting.
You remember when you were pregnant?
Yes.
And I killed a deer, and I needed help getting the deer up the
That
hill.
was when I was pregnant with our son.
Yeah, and you went back in the woods and helped.
I did. I helped you drag the deer. That was just really probably not safe. I don't know why I did that.
Hey, they turned out.
Yeah, he did. He did turn out good.
I mean, it worked out.
Yeah.
That probably was good for you.
May have been. I don't know. But I did drag a deer. Let's see. Anything else that I would have done different? I don't know. And I probably would have maybe paid more attention to my grandpa, like the garden, like him planting stuff and how he did it and stuff. And I talk about my grandmother and her zinnias and how I know she did that. She would tie little rags around the pretty ones, and then when they died, she would pick them and she'd plant those zinnias every year. But if I could go back and do again, I would say, hey, Mama, give me some of those zinnia leaves, those seeds, and I'd probably still have them today. That's what I would, replant them over and over and over as the years went on. That would be so neat to me to have that,
Well, just think, you think looking back to your grandparents, and they seemed very old your whole life.
Yeah, they did.
And do you realize that's where we are now?
I know. We're going to have a grandchild.
I mean, it seems like just yesterday we were driving down the road listening to Bon Jovi, and now, not that we don't still listen to Bon Jovi, but now, we're those old people.
Well, yeah, we are, and we're going to have a grandchild, and they're going to think
we're old. And that grandchild is, we're going to be trying to teach that grandchild stuff from these old people.
Yeah.
Sitting in the rocking chairs and, I mean, just think, because my whole life, I always thought my grandmother was old. Even when she was, when I was, I don't know how old she was when I was born. I'm guessing about 40.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just thought she was the oldest person, and and now we're older than them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I like thinking about that even. But we're have we got any grandparents on the stream now? Let us know in the chat what we got to look forward to. We are looking forward to it, and I think it's, honestly, for the past couple years, in some ways, it's been a little depressing for me, but I really feel like this year is going to be the strong year that turns around, the one that, starts a new chapter, and, and we're already halfway through January.
I know. That's so hard to believe, and we need to get some things accomplished, too.
Yeah.
So,
We still haven't got anything accomplished yet.
not really, except for me cleaning the chicken coops.
Yeah.
Really good.
So this weekend, I don't know what the weather's going to be like.
What is the weather this weekend?
Is it? We're thinking it may snow here. Oh, did you hear about that forecast?
I saw it and then it went away and then it came back again. So you never know in Mississippi.
They're thinking it might snow in Mississippi and Alabama. Is it Sunday night?
Okay.
Sunday night.
Okay. So that would be interesting. I mean, I hope it. I don't think it snowed in like 3 years.
Ooh, my phone
Has it
is
been?
froze.
Oh no. Has it been 3 years since it snowed here? I think it has. I don't think we got any snow last year. We may have got a smattering of snow in 2024, but it wasn't much.
In central Mississippi, we don't get a lot of snow, but when we do, if it ices, our roads are not really built for ice. We don't have
end of the
salt
world
machines and stuff like that to get off the road, and it is a little challenging. So it's not that I don't like the snow. It's just that when it snows, I have to get out and work in it and drive in it.
Yeah.
And that gets kind of old. Let's see.
What's it saying now? I think it changed. I don't think it's going to snow.
Well, I think it depends on whose forecast you want to go by.
I know,
but look,
right?
if you go by the Weather Service, oh wait, let's see. And what's weird is it's from us south, 5 to 10%.
Okay.
So,
so maybe down south of Mississippi, it'll get a little snow, and we won't get any.
So it might be light snow, and then our daughter's boyfriend he's lived up north a lot, and he's like, oh gosh, it's gonna snow. She's like, oh, don't worry, it'll snow in the morning, be melted by noon. And that's usually what it does here. But now I do remember several times that it has snowed.
Pretty good bit.
Pretty good bit.
Now, when before our son was born, and I was expecting him, we had a bad ice storm here, and it was ice for a week. Before
the power
it melted.
was out.
Yeah.
Luckily now we have a generator and we can keep things going. That's another thing we learned later on is to be prepared.
Yeah.
We have. We try to keep extra food. We don't have as much as we usually do, but I think we could survive.
We could.
And we do have the refrigerator. Not the refrigerator. We have
the generator.
The generator. We have the generator that will run most everything.
Well, it will run the refrigerator. We have
it'll run the refrigerator.
So it will run the refrigerator and the freezer.
We do have a backup propane heater that we can put that's safe for inside, and that we could. We are prepared if we have to. We got enough propane, I think, to get by.
Yeah.
So if that's the bad thing is out here. The power could go out for a while.
Yeah.
But it was out for a long time. It was a week.
Yeah. It was a week.
I mean, that was
awful.
It was bad.
It was really bad. I had to go. I actually went and stayed with my grandparents then, and they had a wood heater. And
where did I stay?
Well, I think you were stuck in town for a little while.
I do remember I had a little Chevy S10. And I remember making it to a certain point, and I just couldn't go anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, the snow was literally like a foot deep.
Yeah, and it was ice. And it not just the snow, but it was ice. And if you've ever been through an ice storm, let me tell you, it's bad. It's worse than snow.
The snow's not bad down here.
It's the ice
storm is, where these big old pine trees start breaking, and it's usually, the day after when that ice starts weighting down on the trees.
Yeah, and they break and stuff.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah, and you hear that all in the woods, and it's not very fun. But hopefully that's not going to happen. We'll we'll do if it happens here, we'll do a live stream.
Yeah.
We do plan on being live Saturday morning.
And Sunday
and
morning.
The Saturday mornings, we're going to talk pretty well strictly about chickens.
Yeah, so we'll be in the chicken pen, hopefully, if it's not pouring rain, which we did that last Saturday, and it was fine.
Yeah,
you know, it was pouring rain, it cleared up. We'll be in
Saturday morning starting around 7:30 Central Time.
We'll be in the chicken coop, and then Sunday morning we may be outside, we may be in the house, according to the weather.
If it's this cold, we may be inside.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about gardening and that kind of stuff Sunday.
At some point, we're going to do like a live walk around.
Yeah,
we got to make sure that the camera will work everywhere.
Yeah,
but we'll try to do that. So, you know, hopefully, I don't think we can do that this Sunday, but we'll try to do it at some point.
Yeah.
But it is. What's the temperature out here?
I don't know.
I know
What's your phone say it is?
My drink says it's below freezing.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I don't know. It's set on the camera thing.
Let's see. It says that it's 32. It's probably, you know, I think that it's always cooler than what the forecast says.
Yeah,
you know,
those people that are writing that down don't sit
yeah,
they're not sitting outside.
Right. I think it's more like 30 or 29. That's what I think. So,
wasn't it 27 when we walked out here?
And 28, I think.
But goodness, it's.
Yeah, let's see if you can get the fire going back again. It's kind of died down to coals.
Yeah, it has died down. That wood just did not want to start.
I don't know where you got that wood from. Maybe you need to get different wood.
Well, the other wood's been really good. It made real good fire, but I really think it's because I left it out here. I mean, I put it out really early, and I think that's what
it got damp.
Yeah. It just got to where it didn't want to start.
Yeah. It's got a lot of good coals, though. I may have to get a marshmallow. And
you love those marshmallows.
I love my marshmallows. That's something I do. And, you know, that is one thing that I have from childhood, too. You know, we ate marshmallows and had campfires a lot.
We never had a campfire. We just had the grill.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, see,
that's the closest we had was a grill.
We would have in the fall time, we would have a cleanup day, and we would just rake leaves and, I don't know, clean up sticks and stuff. And we would have a campfire and do hot dogs and
Now, when I went to my grandmother's house, and, you know, I was telling my mother today that I just loved going out there. When I went to her house, we would clean the pasture.
Yeah.
It was just me and her, and
you did fires.
Yeah, we would make a pile, and then we'd eventually do a big bonfire.
Yeah.
And
oh, there we go.
It was
sparking up.
You know, those are the things that, you know, we were talking about memories early.
Yeah.
Those are the memories that I'll never forget.
Yeah.
And then, you know, one of these, another thing, she would take me on a little nature walk, because they lived in the country too. It wasn't quite as
country as me,
as out here, but it was the country. He had cows, and we'd go, and there was this huge, I guess it was an oak tree, and had this huge stump that went, or root that, I mean, it was that big around and went and curled down like just a little seat, and we'd sit on that stump
and talk.
Yeah, I was probably 8 years old.
Yeah.
And you know, I remember we'd sit there and talk, and you know, we had the best time.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, I hope to give our grandchild that.
Yeah, just talk and
those memories that they'll carry forever.
That's right.
You know, it's you know, hopefully we can give them that.
Yeah.
And I think that will be something we can pass on.
Yeah.
You know?
And this homestead. Yeah.
Yeah. And build a really good tree house. You know, we've got a sawmill.
So the grandchild's gonna have a tree house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I told him, I said, all right, we're gonna stop all the projects, start a tree house. You know, I always wanted a really cool tree house.
Yeah, you know, I really wanted one too, but there was
Well, why
never.
don't we just build us one?
Yeah,
I mean,
there was never anybody to really build me a tree house, so I just played in the woods and pretended I had, a tree house.
yeah,
Would love to have had a tree house.
yeah. I just that's, I figure we can make it out of sawmill lumber.
Yeah.
We'll probably have to sand it pretty good so they don't get splinters everywhere.
Yeah.
But,
What tree are we gonna put it in? What fine one? There's some pretty big
well,
trees.
I don't know that it'll literally be in a tree.
Oh.
But maybe
It'll have to be kinda in a tree or
Yeah,
something.
put it somewhere in the
There's
trees.
some big trees up there by Kyle's and Sarah's.
I'm sure they'll want it so they can see it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think that would be really neat to build that in the country light. I want to make it so they can camp out in it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or so I can camp out in
Yeah,
it.
you camp out with them.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But I don't know. They may kick me out when I start snoring too bad.
Yeah. Be like, Pops, get out of
here. It'd have to have
go
another
home.
room. Yeah, it's. Yeah, I don't know if you. I don't know. They'd be like, Grandpa. like stuffing snuff in my nose.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll be live Saturday morning and Sunday morning, and we'll talk about chickens Saturday, talk about gardening and stuff.
Oh, your sister said, hey, she was on the vertical stream.
Okay.
So hey, Tasha, if you're still there, she may have gave up on us.
She may have had. I didn't see the chat. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, her sister grew up out here too.
Yeah.
So, so I think our fire is going down, and
it's cold. Yeah.
It's cold, but we're going to be in the chicken coop Saturday morning talking strictly about chickens. So all you chicken people, and join us Saturday morning at 7:30. And Sunday morning, we're probably going to talk more about gardening and stuff coming up there, planting seeds for gardening. So we do invite you to join us, and want to thank you for sticking with us tonight.
Yeah.
And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Hope everybody has a great weekend ahead.